burden of the word of the Lord is in book of Malachi, chapter 1. The burden of the word of the Lord to Israel by Malachi. I have loved you, saith the Lord. Yet you say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Isaiah Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I love Jacob. So Esau was Jacob's brother who had the inheritance, and then Jacob was the one who gave the man a bowl of soup for his inheritance. And I hated Isaiah, and laid his mountain and his inheritance waste for the dragons in the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever. And your eyes shall see, and you shall say, the Lord will be magnified from the border of Israel. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. And then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? A son honoreth his father, verse 6. A son honoreth his father, and a servant his master. So a man will follow after what he respects and desires, what he respects, as in things that he wants to put time into, follow after. Servant his master. If then I be a father, where is mine honor? And if I be a master, where is my fear? I'm just digging in Malachi. Trying to figure out how rejuvenation of Genesis. All right. And if I be a master, where is my fear? Saith the Lord. If hosts unto you, O priest, that despise my name, and you say, wherein have we despised thy name? We offer polluted bread upon mine altar, and say, wherein have we polluted thee? So polluted bread, nasty, can't eat it. Funny how bread can get nasty so quick. A little bit of water, a little bit too much of a certain ingredient. I burned a lot of bread in the kitchen, let's just say. Are you talking to me or are you talking live? Obviously live. Hello. I'm in the book of Malachi. I'm just kind of chewing. I went live because a friend of mine told me to. It's nice to see you. I haven't seen you before. Have I? Do you do live stuff connected to Tori's room, maybe? What's up, twins? Friend of mine told me to go live, and then he would help me chew over Book of Malachi. Talk to me about the rejuvenation, so that the whole blueprint for rejuvenation of the earth is in this book. So I'm like, bet I'll go live. I can wait for that. Plus, getting used to reading the word out loud, because most of the time I just go a couple of verses in and then end up backtracking and chewing and just chewing and chewing. And sometimes it doesn't even, like, it doesn't click in the way it should. I have to start all over again. So I'm at verse 7 in the first chapter of Malachi. Right? You offer polluted bread upon my altar, and you say, wherein have we polluted thee? In that you say, the table of the Lord is contemptible. So they're offering stuff that's nasty. It's so easy to mess up bread. I was saying, like, a little bit too much flour, a little bit too much leavening or something, you can mess up bread. And then also, it's only good for like a day unless you put a lot of the stuff they have now. They actually cover all kinds of stuff in the little bits of wax to make it last a couple weeks. But if you make bread with just the basics, it lasts for about a day and a half, and then it starts getting stale no matter what you do. And you can't even mix it early, but it's just so easy to mess up. salt. And I'm talking a big plot of bread, just a little bit too much salt, it goes everywhere. And no salt, it doesn't do anything at all. It just burns. So he's saying, you're offering me that stuff, and when you come to the Lord, you're supposed to offer him your whole heart and everything in it. And in back in these days, that meant your whole heart and everything in it, and pure sheep. So it was all white, couldn't have any kind of blemish, couldn't like have a messed up ball. Hi, Nisha. And so he's saying that this bread that they're offering for showbread that they're offering to the priest as an offering is nasty, all polluted, so moldy, not made right, anything less than that pure sheep. And if you offer the blind for a sacrifice, is it not evil? So if you're offering a sheep back then that was blind, then it wasn't pure, so it was evil. It was like shortchanging God. And if you offer the lame and the sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto thy governor. Will he be pleased with thee? So he's saying, we would offer me that, but would you offer it to your people in authority positions? Would you go offer it to the high men of your town? You know, give them that moldy bread and that messed up sheep. Why, yeah? Yeah, okay. Yeah, y'all was gonna help me chew on this a little bit. Kind of funny you're gonna say I'm gonna go get something to eat, because that's what I'm trying to do. But if you offer the blind for a sacrifice, is not evil, and if you offer the lame and the sick, is it not evil? Offer it now unto thy governor, and see if he please with thee, or accept thy person, saith the Lord of hosts. So you go and offer that to your government people and see they're even gonna let you in. And now I pray you, beseech God that he will be gracious unto us. This hath been by your means. Will he regard your person, saith the Lord of hosts? Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Who is there even among you that would shut the doors for naught? Neither do you kindle fire on mine altar for naught. So it's not like you're shutting the doors to keep him the peace. I'm guessing. So it's like it's not that you're trying to get that personal relationship with God for nothing, but or that you're putting things on the altar just to do it. Word. That's cool. I appreciate you being see through, and actually I appreciate this because I don't really um chew a lot, and I definitely don't really have a camera on when I'm chewing a lot. Word. And now I pray you beseech God that He will be gracious unto us, that hath been by your means, and will regard your persons. Huh? And yeah, saith the Lord of hosts. Who is there among you that will even shut the doors for naught? So who's gonna shut out the quietness? He's gonna just find that place of peace to talk to God in for nothing. Neither do you kindle fires on my altar for naught. So you're not putting incense there just because you like the smell. You're putting that there because you sinned. You're putting that sacrificial sheep up there because you sinned. I have no pleasure in you, saith the Lord of hosts, neither will I accept in an offer at your hand. So this sounds like all the works and none of the love. For from the rising of the sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. I'm reading the book of Malachi chapter 1, verse 11. For from the rising up of the sun even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. So Gentiles, as we talked about earlier, is kind of like cousins to Israel. So they were related, but very distantly, and um, they didn't think about God in the same way, if they thought about God at all. But in the New Testament, I think it was the Sumerians, the Sumerian woman at the well, but she said, or he said, we worship in the temples because we know what we're doing, and you worship in the mountains because you don't know what you're doing. Anyways, What is there amongst you but not accept offerings at your hand? For from the rising up of the sun, even the going down of the same, my name will be great amongst the Gentiles. Which is awesome that it says amongst the Gentiles, because it doesn't say amongst all of the earth. It doesn't say amongst only the Israelites. It says amongst the Gentiles, which are people that don't believe, that could have miracles happen right in front of them, wouldn't pay attention. And don't tell me that that doesn't happen every day, because that's kind of scary when like major God speaking moments happen. People are just like, "What are you talking about? You're crazy." Okay, and in every place, incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. So he's gonna change the whole world in this, and a pure offering, which means that pure sheep, which is the Lord, but it's also a heart. Because you go to God like, forgive me, forgive me, forgive me. So, you know, He is infinitely forgiving, but it's all about heart. It's all about heart. Like you have to get it behind it. Um, but you have profaned it in that you say, the table of the Lord is polluted, and the fruit thereof, even his meat, is contemptible. So when people come in, they think it's all nasty because all they see is the moldy showbread and what the meat, all kinds of deformed animals that aren't pure. Like half understood scripture sometimes it's like that. When people weaponize scripture, it's like, ow, that was such a beautiful thing. You said also, behold, what a weariness is it, and you have snuffed at it, saith the Lord of hosts, um and you have brought that which was torn and lame and sick, thus you brought an offering. Should I accept this at your hand, saith the Lord? But cursed be the deceiver, which hath in his flock a male, and vowed and sacrificed, and the Lord a corrupt thing. For I am great king, saith the Lord of hosts, and my name is dreadful among the heathen. That's chapter 1. I got that painting, well, most of the way. It's not all the way done. I gotta figure out the moon. I think that'll work, huh? You're exclusive. Yeah, pretty much. Came on here to see. Hey, Jordan. I came on here just to see what Yahweh Yahman was talking about. I keep wanting to say Yahweh's man because his name is Yasel bin. His tag is Salia bin Yah. So I call him Yah because I'm used to Rasta man, so it's like chip off the block. So I figure calling somebody, hey, God's kid, it's not so bad. Nisha, you're awesome. I don't know how you got so awesome. I'm just grateful every day I rediscover how awesome you are. It's cool. And now, chapter 2. And now, O you priests, this command is for you. If you will not hear, and if you will not lay it to heart to give glory unto my name, saith the Lord of hosts, I will even send a curse upon you. Hey, I have cursed them already, because you do not lay it to heart. So he's saying, because of all that stuff they're putting up there and trying to act like it's the real thing, now they got a curse. Behold, I will corrupt your seed and spread dung upon your faces. And this is why I love God. He's funny. Say whatever else you want, but he's got things like spread dung on your faces. Like even the dung of your solemn feasts. So even the poop after you have a really big feast. And he said, your Christmas poop, I'll put that on your face, and one shall take you away with it. And they'll just take you away with it, scatter you with it. And you shall know that I have sent this commandment unto you, that my covenant might be with Levi, said the Lord of hosts. My covenant was with him of life and peace. And Levi was the Levites, the namesake of the Levites. I don't know what else I know about Levi if I'm telling you the truth. But the Levites were like the holy men who could go everywhere, and they were sent everywhere by God to take care of the people. My covenant was with him of life and peace, and I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me and was afraid before my name. The law of the truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn many away from iniquity. So there's your script. If you want to get into the favor of God, the law of truth was in his mouth. So you know about discerning a spirit. So when somebody's lying, you can feel it, right? Hi, coffee. I'm chewing over the book of Malachi. I'm in chapter 2. The law of truth was in his mouth, verse 6. And iniquity was not found in his lips. If you're trying to get in good with God, you want to be like this kid. You want to be like Levi here. My covenant was with him a life of peace, life and peace. I gave them to him for the fear wherewith he feared me. So you want to fear God, because there is something to fear in God. Why, hello. There is something to fear in God for real, because he just ends everything. Change somebody's life in 2 days. I mean, I personally, that's like, he's changed my life so much faster than that. But so time and time again, he's changed everything I thought I knew, friend circles and everything, in a matter of 2 days. My covenant was with him, a life and peace. So life, not just life. Like life isn't just about a peaceful life, but actually life, like loving his life and good friends and things. And I gave them to him for fear wherewith he feared me and was afraid before my name. So when people bring up God, man, shake, you know. It's kind of like it, because like I said, he just crash everything he ever knew. The law of truth was in his mouth, and iniquity was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity. So if you want to get in a good way with God, truth was in his mouth, iniquity was not found in his lips. So he was not speaking against things, he was not sinning out of his mouth. Iniquity being sin or less than equal, um, was not found in his lips. He walked with me in peace and equity. So with equality and looking out for the weak and downtrodden and doing the things that God loves is how you get in God's good graces. So there it is in black and white. Walked with me in peace and equity, and did turn away many from iniquity. So it turned away many from being less than equal, uninspired. Okay, Genesis 1. Bookmark this. Everybody welcome y'all. He's cool, he's cool. Okay, in the beginning, right? In the beginning, God created the heaven and the earth. Is that what we're talking about? Yeah? Oh, and if I didn't say it enough today, thank y'all for being good, legitimate people. I really appreciate my family here is strong. Y'all make me proud every time I even interact with y'all. I like this first part anyways. I guess I'm gonna try to read this and then keep an eye over here. Well, Yah's got a way of interpreting that part. So where it talks about the the unequal, the messed up bread, and the um blind animals, and he's saying that mixed with the Genesis is like rejuvenation. But yeah, I was over here, but if he's not coming back, he's like in public getting Subway, you know. I'd be all the kinds of gracious. You don't know how bad my phone's been messing up. Sometimes I can't get my keyboard up in time. Yeah, it's really not. 120 characters is a thing, yeah. But you can fill up this chat. Nobody here will mind. It might be a lot on your fingers though. If you were up to if we can get you up to subs, you could be going live and reading this stuff, man. I think anybody, I know that's like a whole nother investment of time, man. Sounds like you always got your hands full. But we would absolutely sub you up. That's kind of what we're trying to do. Get a big rolling ball of creative love, man. You know. So where am I going here? Back to Malachi. I know, and the pressure of typing when somebody's waiting on your response is so much. Like, I've said some awkward things. What was that, Kevin? I gotta explain. As fastest I ever typed 120. Yeah. Yeah. I was in my Bible study at you. The Bible said at the Bible said hosted by Bible Girl. You've been in that position too, Coffee. It's like the wrong emoji will set off a whole tidal wave of emotions. For real. Well, I'll kind of keep an eye out for your responses as we go, but if you want me to read from Genesis, that will work too. 1:26:28. Read that. I think Nisha saw one of those moments on me the other night. 1:26:28. I said something in the room and there was this is the wrong emoji. 26. Okay, so those scripts. Genesis 26:28. And what if you say the wrong word? I've done that too. I'm just like, okay, well, I've got like 80 characters. Anyways, ow. That kind of hurt. Okay, chapter 1, verse 26. And God said, let us make men in our image and after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So we have dominion over things that we can't eat. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him, male and female created he them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moveth upon the earth. Yeah. You sure are right, real odds and evens. You look familiar, I just don't know. Yeah. I mean the signs are all the time, but they always have been if I really think about it. It's just that they just keep getting quicker. I think there's something going on that we've never seen. I think it's gonna be amazing. Who was on the earth doing the creation? God? Yeah, that's God. And that's before the Garden of Eden, right? Because then it goes on to make the Garden of Eden. Once the heavens and the earth were finished on the seventh day, God rested. And then, right? Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I wasn't sure if you knew. Well, I mean, I've had different interactions. enough to know why there's not a bunch of lizard people on this planet. But maybe I shouldn't talk about it. So you figure, but then that goes back into that part that I was reading, 28. And God blessed them, and God said unto them, be fruitful and multiply, and replenish the earth and subdue it, and have and over the fowl of the air, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth. That's us. That's us. Yeah. Replenish and replenish the earth and subdue it. Well, yeah, just like vines and hedges and shit. Yeah, I mean, and stuff. You have to clean out the earth, and nobody does clean out the earth. Even now, people are not cleaning. Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, to clean it, like it says, building up the abandoned places. Later in Malachi, actually, it talks about building up the abandoned places. Um, and that always goes back into cleaning it up. They're gonna say, "Wow, this is like the Garden of Eden." I mean, that's New Jerusalem, and that's everywhere, everywhere. Well, not maybe everywhere, but I believe that there's different spots that the people will have like refuge cities, and I think that a lot of the scripts are talking about that. But do I know about aliens? Do I think that that's what's man? How quick that would be! Almost as quick as the Most High coming in full presence in everybody's mind. Like now, it's like not so pushy, you know. I mean, stuff still happens, but it's pretty rare that you know instant karma is pretty much saved for us, so we don't. But it'd be the same. Like how would like the Watchers, how would the creation aliens play into Malachi though? Oh, because they're the ones from the north, like in the Hopi, they're the uh they're the invaders from the north. Wow, bro. You think set things right, isn't it? The earth, the earth, the earth. It's like that now. I mean, our streams are clogged up, and the earth, most high makes it raining, unclogs things, but it's still there's so much work that we're supposed to be doing, and we're going to do everything else. Sorry. We're going to do everything else. I mean, what does it say? That we are doomed? I think if you follow the Most High, then you're not doomed. How could you be? If anything, you'd be like the fine one, and you'd be taking people behind you. But it's all about getting into His favor, like that script was saying. Peace and walking with Him, and yeah, I gave my covenant was with Him of life and peace, and I gave Him fear within that feared me and was afraid before my name. The law of truth was in His lips, and iniquity was not found in His lips. He walked with the peace, and did turn many away from iniquity. You know. Oh yeah. No, if you don't have God, you're already screwed. I mean, it seems so easy. It seems so the math adds up, but like really, they're not getting fed. Then they don't even know what feeding is. So, but it's kind of a glorious thing in some cases because they never know what those foods are like. So then they get a little bite. Like me, I'm addicted, dude. Look at that, huh? Word. I should just read on, huh? It's only like a page. Yeah, I'll look at it through that gaze. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a real brother and knowing some things. Say who was doing the creating. Why do all those other gods look? That's another thing. Why do they all look so similar? Why are they so? And then also they're repeated in Hebrew, like they're repeated in Enoch, and they're repeated in all these where it's the same characteristics. The mother goddess and all this is all the same characteristics. It's all like they were now that are now they're spiritual beings, most of them, and not physical beings anymore. But there is one as a physical being. Yeshua Jesus was have to come at least save some bread, but come with a fiery sword. Yeah, the remnant. Let us create them in our image. More than one possibility had a part. Yeah, yeah, and everybody they assume that that's a Trinity thing, but it says that they were one. It's all one. So if it's all the same force, it's all the same funk to come out of us. It's also one force, one. It's where a lot of doctrines get off though when they think that they're like the isolated one. You're not God. You can't be God, but you have to be yourself and do your job in God. You have to be, and the more you focus in on Him, and the less you focus in on yourself, the more you're well reflecting back Him everywhere. I mean, I want that because I think I'm an idiot. Right. So keep knowledge. Okay, I'm just gonna read through this last little page and I'm gonna get off here. Okay. Okay. For the priest's lips should keep knowledge, and they should seek the law at his mouth, and he is the messenger of the Lord of hosts. And ye are departed the covenants of Levi, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore have I also made you contemptible and base upon before all the people, according as you have not kept my ways, and you have been partial in the law, making allowances to yourself, partial, doing half of it. Um, have we not all one Father? Hath not one God created us? Why do we deal treacherously every man against his brother by profaning the covenant of our fathers? Yeah. Judah hath dealt treacherously, and an abomination is committed in Israel and in Jerusalem. Abomination, something that God just hates. And in Jerusalem, for Judah hath profaned the holiness of the Lord which he loved, and hath married the daughter of a strange God, a lowercase g. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this, and the master of the scholar out of the tabernacle of Jacob. Had married, and married, of course, means entwined, right? Married, um, like they become one color. um, and the daughter of a strange god. It's interesting. So if you look at it as gods being some sort of creative thing, like a lesser deity. Hmm. Huh. Okay. The Lord will cut off the man that doeth this, the master of the scholar, out of the tabernacles of Jacob, and him that offereth an offering unto the Lord of hosts. And this have ye done again, covering the altar of the Lord with tears, and with weeping, and with crying out, insomuch that ye regardeth not the offering any more, or receive it with good will at your hand. Yet ye say, wherefore? Because because the Lord hath been witness between thee and the wife of thy youth, against whom thou hast dealt treacherously, yet is she thy companion, and the wife of thy covenant, and did not he make one? Yet had he residue of the Spirit, and wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. So yet he say, wherefore the Lord hath been. So it says to marry the love of your youth. elsewhere, which you know how that is. Well, with my love of my youth, it didn't really exactly work out, but of course, the scripture's talking about marrying God, um, because He's of course the love before that all. So witness between thee and the wife of thy youth against wife. That's a bit more advanced than love. Against whom thou hast dealt treacherously, yet she's still thy companion, yet she thy companion, and the wife of thy covenant. And did not he make one, yet had the residue of the Spirit, and wherefore one, that he might seek a godly seed. Therefore take heed to your spirit, and let none deal treacherously against the wife of his youth. For the Lord, the God of Israel, saith that he hateth putting away. For one covenant violate violence with his garment, for one covereth violence with his garment, saith the Lord of hosts. Therefore take heed of your spirit, that ye deal not treacherously. So one covers violence with his garment. We know that clothing in the Bible is a lot of times got to do with purity of the different parts of the parts of the body, dealing with the armor of God. Coffee cakes is a cool one. If you see coffee cake, really any of my kids, I really have a really awesome group around me. But coffee's a special one because she turns up in all over the place. I think, yeah, she really puts in the work on here because I mean she showed up and always so encouraging and nice. Um, oh darn, I forgot where I was. This happens. Do 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 do. Therefore, take care to your spirit, let none deal treacherously against thee. I'm in the book of Malachi, chapter 2. I'm pretty much just chewing. I just gotta have a Bible study, and I'm trying to chew on this a little bit more because I really want to see how this talks about New Zion, how we don't have to worry about it. I mean, not to say we don't have to worry, we just have to depend on God and not fear. But we have to listen to God when He calls everybody, because He's going to call everybody out of all other nations unto Him. Well, that means in the spirit first, of course, because anything that happens in the spirit first. So you would have something like that. We'd be called from our spirits, and then we would go to that place. I've seen times when it was like a blue line on the ground, you know. I've seen times when it was like things just kept making noise in the direction I was supposed to go. Signs I was asking for, I was getting immediately. These sorts of things. I think that same God and preserver will pick us all up. You know, at least the ones that are listening. But I think a lot of people, they don't listen because they're not giving their whole heart and mind to it, or they can't. I'm not either. If I'm telling the truth, I'm trying. But okay, yes, the Lord God of Israel, He saith, They put it away. For one covereth violence with garments, and for you have wearied the Lord with your words. Yet you say, Wherein have we wearied Him? When you say, Everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord, and He delighteth in them. Or where is the God of judgment? Everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord. So it's like blaspheming on the Spirit, like saying, "Oh, I just love, brother, brother, brother," without knowing they brother. Yeah, Coffee's a sweetheart, and she just jumps everywhere. She just spreads every bit of day. Every time I've ever seen her, just spreading light everywhere, backing everybody's channel up. I think there's not very many rooms you're not a mod in. Matter of fact, Coffee. Not that I've seen, not yet. Ye have worried the Lord with your words, yet you say, Wherein have we worried him? So you made him tired with all the ups and downs and repetitive, you know, um, and say, Wherein have we worried him? And then when you say, everyone that doeth evil is good in the sight of the Lord. So then, like, yeah, that sets off that one script that's like, they think evil is good and good is evil, and he delighteth in judgment. Where is the God of judgment? Whew, that's heavy. Well, I mean, I know I've called for that a lot. And he answers. It's not on your time. You have a blessed day too, Jordan. Thank you for coming through. Hey, twins are on. Well, if any of y'all feel need to go there, come here, I don't really. It doesn't matter to me. I think we're all part of the same movement. It doesn't really matter to me. I'm really grateful for all of you, family. Thank you for showing up when I randomly just turned on the word here, and I'm just going over the chewing. I'll go ahead and just read through this. I'll stop chewing so much, but I'll just get through the rest of this and it's kind of speed read just a little bit, but maybe stop to chew a little bit. Bye, Nisha. Lord God of Israel hated putting away the covetousness of evil is good. Okay, so chapter 3. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare the way before me. And the Lord whom you seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant whom you delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. And it cites off Mark 1 2 and Isaiah 43. But who may abide the day of his coming, and who shall stand when he appear? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and purify of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. So all those in metals you have impurities, especially in silver and gold. Those are ones that you can get the impurities out at without so much of a chemical process. At least definitely back in this times. But when you go to refine gold and silver, it means that you get all the other material out. So like rocks, any kind of other geode material, just anything that's not gold, and it when you get it really, really hot, it'll all collect up in the middle of the bowl, and then you just kind of scoop it off the top. So in this way, through fire, just like coal into diamonds, kind of fire, and that's scary stuff. And he shall sit as a refiner and purify silver, and purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, and may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Now the holy fire also, that's another. It's like the fire of vengeance, and then the fire of holy fire is not crazy different. I mean, Most High is intense. I tell you, then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, and as in former years. And I will come near to you into judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, against the adulterers, and false swearers, and against those that oppress the hirelings of his wage, the widow, the fatherless, and that turn aside the stranger from his right. And fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. Verse 6. For I am the Lord, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Oh boy. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from mine ordinance, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord of hosts. But you said, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet you have robbed me. But he said, wherein have we robbed ye? In tithes and offerings. You are cursed with a curse, and you have robbed me. Even this whole bring ye all the tithes in the storehouse, and there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now where herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven, and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive. So 10 again is, bring ye all the tithes in the storehouse, that there may be meat in my house. And prove me now herewith. So prove it to me here and now, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing that there shall not be room enough to receive it, the devourer for your sake. So that goes back to that Ezekiel script where it talks about running all the beasts out of the land, talks about resetting of New Zion. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, for our sake, when we curse the curse that you have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring me all the tithes of the storehouse. So when we bring him everything that we've learned, that was all these things that are gold that are more dear to us than rubies, there may be meat in my house, so that he can have something to chew, like like the ministers of God, or the ministers, the people that were ministering to God. I always thought that that was very interesting. Like God needs a therapist to understand us. Um, Bring ye all the tithes of the storehouse, that ye may be meat in mine house, and prove me now with hand, saith the Lord of hosts, that I will not open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall be not enough room to receive it. So bring all these things that you think are so crucial, you think are so awesome, that you've been storing up, that you're so proud of, put it at God's feet, and watch Him turn that into something friggin' amazing. And now to receive the blessing. And I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and will destroy the fruits of your ground, and shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time. Oh no, I'm not going. I mean, I'm going to get through the rest of this. I probably should, but honestly, my boy is already asleep, and he's been fed and multiple times watered. Real good dad. No, he's a little frustrated with me because I haven't been spending that much. I've been digging in the Word a lot recently, but it is what it is. Because I told him I gotta get the ammo up, man. Bring me all the tithes of the storehouse, build the Lord of hosts, and all nations shall call you blessed, and you shall be a delightful land, saith the Lord of hosts. Your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet you say, have what have we spoken so much against thee? Ye have said, it is vain to serve God. And what profit is it? And we have kept his ordinances, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of God, mournfully before the Lord of hosts. And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that walk wicked are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Ooh. Then they have feared the Lord, spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and they thought upon his name. So there's the two different kind of people, right? The vain who say, what are we doing this all for? Why are we walking in his way? And then one to another, and the Lord heard it. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another. So we that fear the Lord speak often one to another, and hearken heard it, and book of remembrance was written before him, which is what this is, right? Book of remembrance. That's the Bible, right? Oh, hi. Welcome back, yeah. Did you get some good Subway? Um, and that thought upon his name. Was that new name just like a Rasta thing? Because I don't know. I mean, I've known a lot of names for God, and I've known one that I don't know. I've heard God called lots of things. I've heard him called names that I don't think were him too. But anyways, they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day, and I will set up jewelry, and I will spare them. Oh, there's a Revelations verse about a new name, and they will call him by a new name, and he will be their people, and they will be his people, and he will be their God. Right? Thought upon his name, and that thought upon his name. which I mean Almighty. Even just as the titles that I know, Almighty, Holy, hmm, Lord of hosts, thought upon his name, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Talking about this could be the end of the world, but if he's got you in the fire, then that means he's saving you and making you into a jewel. So you think he's gonna throw you? He could. I doubt it. I never know my God to lie like that. And it's, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day that I make up my jewels, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. So you love and serve God, then you're not gonna have to worry. You're a jewel. Then shall you return and discern between, well, maybe not worry, because whatever. um, then shall you return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. Chapter 4. For behold, the day that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up. For the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that feareth my name shall the Son of Righteousness arise with the healing in his wings. Son of Righteousness, spelled S-U-N, of righteousness, arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves of the stall. Cool. And ye shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet in the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts. Remember ye the law of Moses my servant, 10 commandments, which I commanded unto him in Hebron of all for all Israel. So 10 commandments, Book of Deuteronomy, Book of the Laws. With the statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to the fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Cool. Anybody still out there? Tap, tap, tap. Where's the camera? Anybody out there? Say, get out! I'm just playing with you. I know most of y'all been called out here already. We got a big bunch of rooms that we go over. But anybody who is out there, it's kind of hard for me to tell because of all of my moderators. But I really appreciate y'all coming in. I appreciate you sitting out this unexpected little dig into the Bible. I'm real new to doing this, so I really appreciate having a good audience. Y'all make it a really joyful thing to work. There's a few of us. I'll be getting done with these videos and need my little ones. It'd be like 7 people talking and 120 just walking through. Oh, coffee. I don't even know if you're the only one in here, but it doesn't really matter to me. I was just kind of curious because of all the moderators that got in here. Because I know what that zero means. See what I mean? But thank y'all for being awesome. I'll see you next time. Thank you, y'all for sitting with me and walking me through it a little bit. I definitely see what you're talking about. I'm with that new Zion. It's gonna happen. Internet, it'd be like one person could call in hundreds. It's quick. See you next live. I appreciate you, coffee. I appreciate all of you. Have a good night.